Hey everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Chasing Nurse Riri. I know I haven't been on in quite some time, but like I told you guys, I try to at least do once a week, and that has been my goal. So I'm here to fulfill that goal. I don't have a lot to talk about today. Although I've been on my, normal routine, places on social media, ranting about the world and things of that nature. But here, I like to just focus on my nursing journey and try to move from that. So, let me talk about this class for a sec. So, as I told you guys before, I am in complex adult health. And let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like I'm in week 4. I think we were kind of like on my last video. I was kind of torn in between whether it was week 4 or week 5, because with everything going on, it's pretty much like I didn't know. But yeah, so I'm in week 4 of complex. So for starters, the class started off extremely uninteresting. The professor I have is very dry. It's kind of like the dry eye guy. Yeah. Everyone has their own type of learning, how they learn, their learning environment, things of that nature. I am not that person that really pulls through to a dry professor. I know teachers teach in so many variational ways because everyone in the class is different. So I'm not saying it's just me. I'm not saying everyone else is not getting it, because pretty much maybe everybody else may love her. I have absolutely no idea. And because I was supposed to graduate last year and then a few months ago, and then I'm not even in a class now with people that I started with or been in classes with previously, anything like that. I'm in a group of people I don't know. So with that being said, at this point, I'm not really here to make any friends or to ask questions to anybody or anything like that, because I feel like at this point, I've had group sessions that went really well. I had really great friends. I have had friends that went on and graduated, but due to many circumstances that I have, sometimes I have to put my school back and focus on kids or focus on my job or, my health, things of that nature. So at this point, I'm in week 4. I have an 82 in the class. Have absolutely no idea what's going on in the class. None whatsoever, and this online class is just pretty much making things more complex for me. I've taken online classes before. Majority of the time it's just simply a writing class, so it wasn't anything that was too difficult. Writing papers, writing discussion boards, things like that. But for me to actually have class on Tuesday, Thursday, 1 to 4, we have to log in, engage, and follow this PowerPoint and ask questions on the text board or the chat board, and you have various people talking and then people asking questions, and it wasn't even a question that you thought about. It was just a question that didn't even seem like it was related to the conversation, and it just seemed like it was far-fetched. And then now you're thrown off because now you're like, anyways, what's going on over here, and unfortunately, we're at a crisis right now. We're at a global crisis. We're at a extreme pandemic right now with this COVID-19. I mean, pretty much it's all hands on deck. I've been at work for 13 days straight, and a lot of it could be for me. A lot of my studies and things like that could be for me. It could be for me sitting there trying to triage a patient, trying to write, trying to focus, trying to think, trying to figure out what to do, making sure I have my PPE on. It's just a number of things that's going through my head right now. You know, luckily I was able to go get my daughter from school. Now she's safely home taking online classes. Then I have another child. He's going back to LA. He has been here a whole week. So he's going back to LA and he's taking online classes as well. I had to move him from some of those classes that were a little bit difficult to take online that are better to take while you're in school, like on campus. We had to sit down and have that family discussion because sometimes I know my kids are older, but they don't always make the right choices. I'm 38 and hell, I don't always make the right choices. So sometimes in life, I feel like you have to sit down, you have to weigh out your pros and cons, you have to think of a list. Like when I was talking to him, I was like, yeah, you know, this is my son, but he's also becoming a man. And on top of that, he's also a human. So I have to talk to him as a student. I have to talk to him as a man. I have to talk to him as my son. I have to talk to him as his counselor. I have to talk to him as his financial advisor. I have to wear all these hats when I'm talking to him because I want to make sure that he's getting the best information possible. So I come up with lists and it has pros and cons on the side. You see where it says, you know, you get to be with your family, don't get to be with your family, things like that. It has lists on here that say, hey, these are your pros and cons. This is how I want you to go through life. No, you don't have to weigh out the options of every single thing in life. Like, let me make a list. But you have to think about it if it's going to benefit you in the long run. Because right now he just wanted to take a leave of absence and be here at the house. And it's like, what is it to do here at the house? I got to work. Your sister, now she's here. She has to work and go to school. Like, what are you going to be doing here? Oh, I'm going to be working. You're going to be working and doing what? No. Stay on campus because they still allow you guys to stay on campus. They have plenty of food, plenty of water, plenty of resources. I can continue to send stuff to you or whatever. And just stay there. You know, practice on your crafts. You know, if the studio is open, get up in that studio, do what you need to do, you know, and continue to practice on your craft while you're there, you know. There's no need for you to be here doing nothing because that's not going to help anybody. So got that squared away. So like I said, it could be a number of things that, you know, are going through my head right now that has me distracted from this class. But we're on week 4. I got an 82 right now. And I'm completely lost in this class. Now, I did used to work cardiology for a doctor for probably about a good 7-8 years. So a lot of the cardiac related stuff I know, but I don't know. You know, like I haven't worked in cardiac in such a long time that some stuff come back to me. It's like, all right, this is why you use adenosine, or this is why you use the digoxin, or, you know, some of that stuff, atropine. Some of that stuff comes back to me. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's why you do that. But just being in the class and being interested and just sitting there and the teacher having my full divided attention, nah. That's not what we're at. That's not where we are. That's not what it is. I'm sitting there. I am coming up with a list of things I need to constantly do for my family and things I need to do for school. What's my next homework assignment? How am I going to get through this hemodynamic packet that's due next week? I have all these things that are due in the class, and it takes it away from me actually learning in the class. And just to get an email today that says they're pushing our online classes back. So we were supposed to return April 10th. So now we're not returning to the end of May session. So I don't know if that means the end of May or the end of June. But with that being said, now I got all these classes online. What am I going to do? Of course, I got to continue to work. I got to continue to do the things that's necessary. Luckily, I've been able to work on my days that I was supposed to have class because I'm able to log into work, log into the class while I'm at work and triage patients around, my work schedule. So that's been good. But my clinical days, I'm not going to be able to do that because I have to sit in front of a computer for a total of 8 hours to do my clinicals. I just hope that I'm able to actually learn about these medications and when to use them in the patients and things like that. I know it may sound like I'm a little frustrated, and I am. When it comes to these classes, I sit through class, I learn, I take great notes, I listen to the instructor, I go through everything, I ask questions, and when I get to clinicals, it's like lights, camera, action for me. That's my time to shine. That's my time to really say, all right, Maria, you really know what you're doing. And I like that because it's a learning environment. It's a time for me to take everything that I've learned in class and actually put those skills to the test and say, all right, Maria, this is what you need to do for this patient. This is when you would give them MAG. This is when you would push this. This is when you would give them this. We can't push meds and clinicals, but I'm just saying. This is when you would be able to do this. This is when you would do this. And I love when a professor say, well, before you get that medication, sorry about that, before you administer that medication, what should you be looking for? I should check the patient's blood pressure first because that medication I'm going to give them going to drop their blood pressure. Things like that. It just really helps me to have a whole environment. And it's almost like it's a role, Man, and I just don't know what I'm going to do during this time period. I had a really, really long talk with my son as he was boarding his flight going back to California. And I told him, and I don't know who else needs to hear this, but I told him that no one knew that this was going to happen. This is tragic for everyone, This hits home because I am on the front line. I am taking care of patients on a daily basis who may or may not have COVID, but they have symptoms of it. So I have no choice but to treat those patients. We didn't know this was going to happen. It's all around the world. It's bad, So what we have to do is to kind of go with the flow. And I know that's hard for a lot of people because going with the flow is not something, sorry, I have a little hair, not something that we're necessarily used to. At least not me. I like to have things planned, But just because this happened, don't mean let's run. Let's be fearful. Let's say, oh, I don't want to take these online classes because I'd rather be in a classroom setting. But at this point, we don't know when a classroom setting will be. We don't know if that's going to be May. We don't know if that's going to be June. We don't know if that's going to be July. Everyone has an estimated answer. They can't give you anything concrete. And that's fine. You just have to keep continuing to do you. And to make sure that your ducks are in a row. Make sure you're doing the things that you can do. Make sure that you're trying to keep yourself contained. Make sure that you're doing the stuff to better yourself on a daily basis. Because sitting at home, not gonna cut it. I'm not talking about quarantining. I'm not talking about that sitting at home. I am talking about not advancing yourself during this time period. This time period right here is for you to get yourself together, get closer to whatever person it is that you talk to, whether it be God, whoever your person is, get closer to them. Listen to those voices. They'll tell you what you need to do. Get closer to yourself. Understand yourself, what you want to do. That doesn't mean just go cuddle up with every and anybody, because loneliness is not going to create a happy heart. But what you need to do is, if you're not close to certain family members, call those family members. Start talking to them. Say, hey, this is the perfect time to fix our situation and talk, because we have a lot of time right now. You know, we're in a house, we quarantine. If we're not at work, I'm in a house. So while I'm in a house, I've been doing a lot of reading. I've been educating myself, not just on nursing stuff, but just stuff that I've been interested in a long time. You know, I'm working towards starting this new business. Also joining a friend in a business venture. I'm also going to do that. So that'll be kicking off in the next week. I'll be doing that. And on top of that, I will be having my sister join that same company with me. So I'm really excited about that. I'm not excited about the work that it's going to take. But nobody becomes an overnight success. But I'm really, 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 really looking forward to it. I can tell you that. Hold on, let me drink this water before I start coughing. All right, thank you. But I'm really starting to focus on more things that I need to do. I'm looking into helping out some more foundations, things like that, like actually putting myself on some foundation boards. I've been looking toward that. Just rekindling old friendships that I know we left on bad terms. I just want to make sure we're okay with that. I worked on my life insurance policy, and I made sure that my kids had copies of those and made sure that they understood everything that was in them, you know, because sometimes you can give them all the papers in the world and they don't understand. And that's not to say that I think something's going to happen to me or anything like that. It's more so to say that during this time period, I want to make sure everything is concrete. Although they're not giving me concrete answers about everything in the world right now, I want to make sure my shit is concrete, you know? We have emergency this, we have this. This is our game plan, and that's how I want it done. So as far as school goes, I am going to continue my journey because that's what I'm here for. It's crazy enough, right? Let me tell you about this. So a few weeks ago, before this whole coronavirus thing hit, I go to the financial aid office. Hey, is everything okay with my loan? Because I applied for a Chamberlain loan. Oh yeah, Maria, your loan is good. You're good to go. Yada, yada, yada. Don't worry about anything. Okay. Post-corona, I call about 2 days ago. Hey, I haven't heard anything back about my Chamberlain loan. So can someone tell me what's going on with that? You hear a bunch of paper shuffling. Yeah, so, Maria, let us give you a call back. Okay. Instead of getting a call back, I got an email. What's the best way to contact someone when you don't want to talk to them and tell them bad news? Text, email. I got an email that says, unfortunately, Maria, at this time, we will not be able to approve your Chamberlain loan. We can do payment arrangements for the $7,000 that you owe us now for last semester and this semester. Now, mind you, I was waiting to pay off last semester with the loan. Last semester loan was going to be taken care of as well as this session. So now I have to pay $7,000 in less than a month. Where's that going to come from? My favorite emoji? I don't know. But anywho, I will definitely keep you guys updated. Make sure you send me some questions. Hang out with me, answer some questions, send me some comments. Let me know if you like my new bonnet. As a matter of fact, this was a long one because, as you know, I have braids. So, since I have long braids, I have a long bonnet. And my long bonnet covers all my long braids. And I'm trying to keep this in. I had it in for about a few weeks now. I am definitely trying to keep it in until the rest of the semester. So that way, I won't have to do my hair because, you know, at this point, since I'm struggling for $7,000, I don't have time to do my hair and I don't have the money to do my hair. So anyways, until next time, thank you guys for tuning in to Chasing Nurse Riri. And I don't care what anybody says. It is going to get taken care of because God said so. That's who I believe in. So at the end of the day, I will be back on here next week. Might not have a solution, but I'm definitely going to have a lot of different ways that I'm going to make this money. Okay? All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Bye-bye.